Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Supreme Commander 2. Today we have a 1v1 we're going to be taking a look at between, let's introduce our players here. Oh, hold on, bad streamer, bad streamer, bad streamer, there we go. Alright, we have, first up, Wakonda as the yellow UEF, going first air. We are on the map Venus Forge, by the way. Excellent custom map you can get in the Supreme Commander 2 Discord. Up against him, we have Protostar as our purple Cybran, going triple land opener. I love a good triple land opener, especially out of a Cybran. See how this goes. Now, Proto is going to be very much behind on the production, but he is going to get an aircraft across and scout the triple land opening here. And it was actually Wakonda who posted this replay. So we'll see what these two guys get up to. I have not looked at this replay at all. I don't even know how long it is. So I'm looking forward to see what happens, because Wakonda doesn't place very many replays, and neither does Protostar. So I don't get to see these two players interact with each other very often. So excited to see how this match goes. Alright, so Wakonda is going to is going to scout the triple land here. He's got a bomber opening. Wakonda going to transition now into 2 land and start pumping out those Richaad tanks almost certainly, so that he can stand up against the Loyalist spam. Venus Forge is a very open map in some ways and very, very closed in others. These flanks are very easily accessible. Like it doesn't look like that much distance, but this distance here from this bridge to the main base is kind of rough to cover if your opponent has gone air, or if things like unit teleport and jump jet are out and about. In those scenarios, it's difficult to actually like take and hold the choke point here and hold it here and hold here and hold here, and so shutting down these flanks requires a lot of effort or a lot of ability to just pay attention to what's going on. You really have to be on top of your intel and your scouting in order to make sure there's no flanks coming, especially now for this air open that Wakonda's gone for. He's going to be vulnerable to these run-bys from these Loyalists. He does not have enough tanks if Protostar goes for this flank. But similarly, look at the amount of time it's taken for these Loyalists to get across the map here. This is a deceptively large space, I feel like. So we'll see what comes of it, but it takes a long time for these Loyalists to make the flank maneuver. It's kind of an equal trade there. But putting that aside, we have our first engagement here, our first real engagement here. The anti-air tower got thrown up to shut down this mid-harassment from Wakonda of the bombers, making it easier now for these land forces to go in. He's going to get the radar. Tanks are going to kind of shoo the commander away a little bit. Loyalists going for the energy here. The commanders are going to fight it out a little bit. I don't suspect that this is going to go anywhere, but he's done some damage here. He's shut down this mass extractor. You know, he's killed this radar. Is he going to get this energy? He's going to not quite get this energy. He's going for the commander. There's actually quite a bit of loyalists here fucking this commander down. Oh, and there's the factory shield. And just like that, Protostar has to retreat. He's going to have to retreat from this. He can no longer engage now with the factory shield. He's not going to be able to get the commander snipe. The Loyalists are just not going to be able to dish out the damage before Protostar's commander goes down. And speaking of, Protostar down to 3,000 health. He's in the red. Is he going to die right here? This would be a very fast 1v1 replay if he dies right here. No, he's going to get out of there. Wakonda doesn't have the forces to pursue, doesn't have the bombers to finish him off, but Protostar does not have the health or units to push him to this one factory shield. And so for any of you new players out there, if you're struggling to defend in 1v1 or rush scenarios and you're not sure what you can change, factory shields. Build one factory shield, put your commander and a single PD under it, and most rushes that happen in under 5 minutes are going to struggle to get in. This factory shield forces a response out of Protostar now. If he wants to break into this early, he's going to have to either get an overwhelming eco or forces advantage. He's going to have to take a really good engagement against these rockheads, and this is not it. Or he's going to have to get mobile missile launchers. Mobile missile launchers will sit out of range of this and slowly wear out this factory shield. The problem is that Cobras, the mobile missile launcher for Cybran, actually does terrible damage against UEF shields. Absolutely abysmal damage. So you need a lot of them. You can't sit there with 2 or 3 and expect to break it. The factory shield will come back online before they can finish the turret off, and then the turret heals, and then they have to break the factory shield again. So you really need like 5 or 6, I would even say, to really make sure you're going to wear this shield out quickly and kill the turret quickly and kill the factory quickly. In the meantime, that's less mass going into Loyalists. That's less mass going into expansion. So this is good. Wakonda is going to see this expansion here. The question is does he have the bombers to stop it? And I think the answer is no. I think this factory does get up here. Yeah, factory gets up. 1 bomber, not going to be enough to shut that down. The factory's going to get up. Shield, anti-air turret, 4 safe max extractors under the factory shield, and boom. Free expansion. Even if the engineer goes down after the factory's built, he can just build a new one. So, Protostar going to get the expansion here, which Wakonda is not really able to do. The Loyalists are faster than his tanks. Going to make it difficult to expand with engineers. That being said, Protostar does not have any air coverage whatsoever, so bombers are going to do quite well here if they get into numbers. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. We're going to see demolishers for Wakonda against the Loyalists. I do have to wonder about that because I see in very high-level games, rarely do demolishers actually accomplish anything against Loyalists. It's difficult, very difficult to make these demolisher rounds hit unless you're force firing the ground, which, to be fair, it looks like Wakonda might be, or Protostar just mismicroing a little bit, gonna eat that demolisher damage. Yeah, it's very rare. Yeah, see, look at how crazy these demolishers fire. They take so long to hit. The predictive targeting will. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. They take so long to hit. The predictive targeting will often fire way away from where they're actually going to go. They can change direction so quick. It's very easy for Loyalists to dodge. Demolishers are extremely effective against things like Yenzus, right? Not so great against bots. Very difficult to get the hits against bots. But they do prefer make a kind of a siege force against the commander here, interestingly enough. So I guess that's something. Demolishers have a lot of concentrated AoE damage. They're going to do a lot of damage to that commander if he takes more than 1 or 2 hits off of them. Yeah, like if he eats these 5 Demolisher rounds here, that's down to, from, what was that, almost 11,000 health to under 8,000 immediately. Demolishers are going to be very effective against keeping the commander at bay here. The commander is slower than these Loyalists. Not as easy to make him dodge those hits. Going to be back down into the low range of yellow health here. 1 anti-air tower, though, is going to keep the bombers at bay for now. They are going to be enough to shut down this flank. Demolishers now, of course, with the rock heads, going to push up, kill the anti-tower. This forward position for Protostar is going to go down. We do see Wakonda trying to expand. Protostar doesn't give a crap about this mass extractor. He wants to get in here and kill this engineer. His goal is to kill this engineer before the bombers can finish off his little raiding party here, because that would mean he's gotten off an expansion, and Wakonda has not. Now, they are going to go kind of the wrong direction here, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think the engineer is going to live. Yeah. I'm going to try to get these out of here, but it's way too late. These Loyalists are dead. We do see an engagement happening. We do finally see Brackmans coming out now. Now, Brackmans, similarly, against very skilled players, you're not going to really see much damage being done with those. However, these are tanks, not bots, so they're much more likely to hit. We're also going to see adapters out to deal with the air and provide a little bit of shield coverage against those Demolishers, although the Demolishers have so much AoE power that I'm not sure how much it matters. I mean, yeah, they're blocking 1, 2, 3 hits from the Demolishers, so yeah, the adapters are worth it, I think, just based for the anti-missile, anti-air, and a little bit of shield. Their shield alone is not worth it for sure, but combined with everything else, the anti-air coverage especially is quite nice. Brackman's going to be good at shooting away these slower forces. Look at all these units on low health, right? That's a couple Brackman hits that happened that I missed, almost certainly. All these units in similar areas of low health. 2 or 3 Brackman shots landed right into the middle of this army and just messed them up. Now they're going to have to slowly regen their way back up. This expansion is now happening uncontested because 1 factory shield and 1 factory AA is enough to keep bombers away from this for the foreseeable future. You need quite a bit of bombers to kill a factory with a factory shield before its AA kills more bombers than it's worth. You need a pretty critical mass. So now they're going to be used to harass. They're going to be shutting down eco. They're going to kill engineers. Some backline eco trying to happen here for Protostar. He's getting the energy up. Might be looking to transition into megaliths. Megaliths would be an excellent call for him here if he can get to them. Brackman spam also absolutely going to do amazing work here at shooing away these rockheads and demolishers. Demolisher hit's going to take some kills here, but not too many. Like I said, super difficult. If you don't have the micro to force fire these demolishers, it's very difficult to land the hits against bots. Super difficult, especially with a skilled player like Protostar. That being said, Wakonda's pretty skilled himself. He's dodging all of these Brackman shots, and now he doesn't have to worry about these Brackman hits nearly as much. He's got P shields up. P shields up have 500 and I think it's 500. I think it's just 500 shield health. I might be wrong about that. Somebody with more game knowledge than me can correct me. I've heard that information before, but I can't quite remember. Either way, they have, I think, 400 or 500 health compared to the adapters 100 or 200, maybe 300 at most. Significant benefit for the P shields here. Going to be able to block a lot of those Brackman hits before it's time to worry. Like, watch. I bet none of these get through. If they hit at all, which, yeah. The P shields ate a bunch of those. One is going to get through. Going to have one that gets through. P shields, very worth it to mix into Rockhead tanks. As something I've learned, and I didn't actually know this for a long time. I thought P shields useless, right? For a long time, when I started playing more competitively, I thought P shields were not worth it until I saw them being used all the time, and so I asked questions like, "Why are we using P shields?" And they're like, "Because they're amazing." What do you mean? I was like, "Oh, I made that. This is a skill issue on my part. I see." That being said, we do see an air transition coming out of Protostar. I don't know about maybe air transition isn't the right word. He still has these 4 factories pumping out land units, but he's gonna get some fighters up, and there's no anti-air at all out really for Wakonda, and Wakanda still only has that single air factory. We've gone into 4 air factories here for Protostar, and he's gonna get fighter bombers, so he's gonna be able to shut down enemy air and conduct bombing raids. 2 for the price of 1, if you really think about it. These Brackmans. Oh, there's going to be some good Brackman hits. Oh, man. Holy shit, those are some hits of all time. But those Brackmans, God, maybe 10 units down there? More? 12, 15? More and more of this army going down here for Wakanda. Wakanda taking huge losses. With the air coverage now coming up, this is the push that Protostar was waiting for. He was waiting for his fighters to come up, waiting for them to be able to break the shield so that the Brackman hits land more freely, waiting for them to be able to cover the AA. No longer a pressing need for adapters. He can focus this into more Brackmans because now there's going to be friendly AA here in the form of fighter bombers to shut down some of these bombers. Now, he is going to take some losses here. Protostar is going to have to back off. He does not have the land forces to push this, but he delayed Wakanda by a lot. Lots of losses out here for both sides now in the land army. But that being said, Protostar has seized complete air control here, right? Complete air control. He can bomb freely. There's no AA. There's no wasps yet. And there's only 1 air factory out for Wakanda. Is he going to change that now that he sees the air coming up for Protostar? No, it doesn't look like he is. He's going to double down on land. He wants to get these demolishers in and these rockheads in and overwhelm his opponent. And it looks like he's doing just that. The entire land force here for Protostar has gone down. We are 14 minutes into this game. Look at the eco up here. Protostar is ahead. He's pulled ahead. This expansion that he managed to get off just a little bit earlier than Wakanda has given him an additional 4 mass per second. He's ahead on energy. He can afford experimentals or more factories if he wants to. And he's ahead on research as well. +5 to Wakanda's +3. He's going to shut down the expansion. This air control being seized for Protostar is huge. If he can hold out against this oncoming tide of UES forces, he has a very good chance of winning from that point. But only if he can make this win. Brackman hits need to be on point. Power detonate would help him immensely if he can get in there fast enough. Unit movement upgrade or jump jet on behind this into the retreat, perhaps, or just enough bombers to wear these out. Speaking of which, it looks like he does actually have a pretty large mass of bombers. I didn't realize how quickly he produced these air units, but look at this. Yeah, gonna come in, gonna break right through the P shields. He's gonna get a few kills every time he does a pass here. Gonna severely hamper the efforts of Wakonda to get into Protostar's base here. Look at this. Look at this fucking mass field. You can tell they have just rampaged all across this center platform, all the way up to Protostar's base. He's even lost a factory, but he's not out yet. He's got that air control. There's no friendly AA. We see mobile missile launchers, meteors coming out. Meteors are very good. They're the best mobile missile launcher out of the three. No, continuing not to produce more air factories, he is going to be forced to switch it into Wasp now. So now he can no longer use his air for harassment. He has to build fighters, and as UEF, you do not get multi-role air units. He must build fighters to maintain what control he does have, and that means that he's going to be hard-pressed to build enough bombers to do any significant raids. So now if Wakonda wants to continue to stay in the air game, I think he's going to have to build more air factories. You see more land factories now also coming up for Protostar. Protostar looks like he's on the back foot just based on this, right? He's got damage to his front line. He's got an army on his doorstep here. But I honestly think Protostar is in the lead right now. I think Protostar is very much in control of the game at this moment. All he needs is one good engagement against this army. This army can kill him, for sure. But if he manages a good engagement, the game is his. And there's the jump jets. What did I say? Jump jet directly into the middle, and the power detonate comes out, and there it is. There it is. That was it. That was what he needed. Power detonate's going to kill that entire army. The fighter cloud's going to come in now and clear away this enemy air. We're going to see the anti-air upgrade for the UEF tanks. Now that is a problem. He can no longer get free passes off on these air units, but he's still got so many fighter bombers here that he can just still drop bombs. He can fight through the unit AA and kill a bunch of units here. He's going to kill a bunch of enemy air. He's going to kill a bunch of land units. And just like that, Protostar has tied this game back up. He still has his expansion online faster. He has more eco both in the bank and coming in. But he's spending his mass and all of his energy. Protostar is not. He's floating a little bit of both. He's got an energy excess. He's got about the same amount of mass float, not much, about 600 or 700. He's getting ready to go into experimental. At some point, I don't know when, but at some point, I'll be very surprised if this game continues to drag on. We don't see him place down 2 or 3 experimental land gantries, get those megaliths out, and just steamroll. It's going to be a contest. Who gets to their experimentals first? More power detonate going to come out here. Or maybe not. He doesn't even need it. There it goes. There it goes. There we go. Huge engagement now. Suddenly, all of a sudden, Protostar is everywhere. He's all up in Wakonda's business right now. Wakanda is losing land forces left, right, and center. There's an air cloud over the top of his main base. He does not have experimentals. He does not have air control. He's got a factory AA and lots of it, so Protostar can't exactly just dive in and kill him here, but he can certainly start to shut down this expansion. It's going to come down to this expansion again. If he loses this expansion, that is an enormous blow for Wakanda. Absolutely enormous blow. Wakanda's not out that yet, though. Make no mistake. I'm talking a lot about how ahead Protostar is, but Wakanda's not dead, right? Like he hasn't actually suffered any damage to his base. His expansion was slower, but he's not lost anything, right? So he's been able to maintain control of these choke points up until this point. It is only now that we see Protostar taking some map control, and that amount of time that Wakonda was the one controlling the map. He wasn't doing nothing. Look, he's got some research up. He's still doesn't have as much research as Protostar. Protostar making double his research right now. But still, Wakonda can put these research points into a lot of things. He's gotten into the unit shields, or excuse me, the P shields and the unit AA, and probably stacked gauze. I need to look and see if there's any demolishers firing. Be very easy to see if there's stacked gauze rounds. I think there is. When this demolisher files, we'll see. No. Do not see stacked gauze. If there's stacked gauze, I think there you would literally be able to see. You can literally see the second shell. So he doesn't have the stacked gauze gun upgraded yet for his units, but he's got that unit AA, probably some damage, some unit veterancy. Jump jets here. He's got the. That's what he was waiting on. He was getting the speed upgrade so that he can get away from the jump jet, and now he's gonna have all his shielding ready. Ooh. And that's enough P shields to none of those bombs get through. A bunch of those fighters gonna go down for free. We got mobile missiles flying everywhere, air units falling out of the sky like rain. Neither of these players now both of these players now in a position where neither of them can really seize an advantage. Protostar is definitely ahead on terms of eco, but Wakonda's such a good player, he still can't really push in here. Not yet. He doesn't have the forces. He's not going to do it with this amount of land forces. While these land forces are equal, this UEF blob is going to reign supreme. You need a lucky hit on the power detonate to get anything done now against this. You don't have... There's too many P shields, too many effective land forces. The split on the land forces is going to come out. He's going to dive behind the force, like I mentioned earlier, in an attempt to catch them out and land the power detonate. He's going to get a couple, but not enough. He's going to dive this now. Recognizing he's not going to be able to push back and take the land force anyway, he's going to attempt to cut off and kill as many of these reinforcements as he can. Loyalists are going to dive in on the blob in an attempt to get close enough to detonate while the Brackmans continue to wear out these shields. Might be better to jump jet these guys out of here. Preserve as many of these forces as you can. Going to continue diving them in here. I think Wakonda is losing, or Protostar losing these forces for no good reason now. Power detonate, yeah, he's not going to get very much out of that. Lots of dead fighters, lots of dead land units. Protostar cannot take the advantage in the land fight here. Jesus. This is a much better replay than I expected. I mean, I'm not sure why I didn't expect it to be this long, but this is an awesome 1v1 happening right here. Super back and forth. Neither of them have been able to make any headway into the other's base, really. Wakonda got damn close up here, and you could still see the scorch marks to prove it, but that's as close as he got. Close is as good as it's been. Close is close, but not close enough, as it were. And now Demolisher Round's going to make some impact, pick off a couple units. Unit AA going to pick off a few more after the jump jet comes out. That's so much anti-air coming out of those tanks. It's insane how strong the UEF units get if they last long enough to get these upgrades. And now it's Wakonda who is pushing out on a flank and shutting down expansion. We might be seeing... Cybran artillery. Really? Cybran artillery. Okay, alright. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like Megaliths would have been the play here. I really do. I think Megaliths was the call. Is Cybran artillery worth it? It's going to give him scouting information if he gets the upgrade for it. I guess it will wear out all these factories that don't have shields yet. If he can pick off energy. The energy is pretty low health in terms of structures, and is therefore easier for the Cybran arty to pick off. I wonder if maybe that's the idea here. If you're going to go to the Cybran... Wow, look at this. We've got power armor here coming out for the what is it? The mega armor? I think it's just mega armor out for the Loyalists here. Gonna perform a delaying action, honestly, more than anything else. At this point, you're not wearing out this blob. You need some absolutely monstrous Brackman or power detonate hits to kill this UEF blob now. There's too many P-shields. There's so many P-shields there. He's actually focusing the Cybran Arty on this land blob now because he recognizes how dangerous this is. He's hoping that the Cybran Arty will do enough damage to these P-shields that his other units can get through. That's the goal here. But I don't think it's gonna... I don't know that it's gonna be enough. He's giving it a go, though. He's working on it. He's definitely making sure Wakonda has to keep on top of the micro here. If you're gonna go to Cybran Arty, though, you might as well fire into the base. Yeah, there we go. He's gonna redirect into the base now. Jump Jet's coming out to try to assist with this push that's coming out over here. More Jump Jet's gonna try to deal with the main base now. Oh, man. He is gonna get a huge portion of Wakonda's land army here. And another portion is gonna about to go down right now. There they go. No. He's gonna get some. Not gonna sacrifice the whole army. There we go. Look at that. Holy shit. Absolutely chaos across all of these fronts now. We got 3 separate fights going on. Raiding parties going everywhere. There's Cybran Arty firing. No experimentals out for either player right now. We've got huge flanking parties now coming out of Wakonda. Wakonda is streaming units out of these factories to the flanks instead of the front line, recognizing that Protostar no longer has the forces to keep up with 3 different fronts. And so what is he going to do? He's going to push across 3 different fronts. We have a counter push now coming out of Protostar. I think this has been going on for a minute. He's been rampaging across and killing these mass extractors as quickly as he can. This factory's going to go down. That's a pretty huge loss, losing this land factory over on this side, because once it goes down, if the 2 air factories go down, now it's going to be even harder to get an engineer back over here to re-expand. Structure detonate on this mass extractor to kill like half of these. Doesn't seem like he's got it, though. Or he's just paying attention elsewhere. Protostar once again slowly taking the initiative now. Not as many UEF forces streaming into this middle choke point means that now the Brackmans and the Loyalists have the speed and damage necessary to break through these P-shields and really wear these out. And now it's Wakonda who has units on his front door. He's got artillery falling out of the sky. These factory shields are going to be getting worn out constantly. Not enough yet to start killing buildings, really. There's just not quite enough artillery, but it's rest assured that is changing. We've got 1, 2, 3, a 4th being built. And I'd be surprised if we don't see even a 5th and 6th get built at some point. He's going to lose this expansion, Protostar, but he's going to also have the units now to shut this down. This raiding party is going to be forced away. He's not going to get into the back door of the base, so to speak. Similarly, Wakonda has cleaned up his expansion, although crucially he has held on to his expansion. He cleaned it up and didn't lose it. Protostar still struggling to finish off these last few remaining units, but look, now we've got factories going down to this Cybran AA. Protostar has banked everything on this Cybran artillery. He is hoping beyond hope that the Cybran artillery here is enough to change the tide. If it's basically a war of attrition now. Can he hold out against these encroaching UEF forces long enough for the artillery to start killing important stuff? Factories, economy, focusing them down on this single mass extract here, not the play. Fire into the center mass. Kill these factories. He's left them on picking their own target, which I think is a mistake because they're going to fire at the worst possible stuff. We've got a pretty decently sized UEF raiding party now pushing into the back of Protostar's base. He's got an upgraded Cybran gun comm. It's going to come out and deal with this single-handedly. Said he doesn't need no help. He's just going to handle business with the overcharge. And there we go, just like that. Most of this force is gone. Cybran gun comm is so incredibly strong, and that's one more thing that Wakonda's going to have to be worried about, because guess what? Without experimentals, that Cybran gun comm is going to be nearly impossible to kill with land units. I would know. I got Ixened more than once. Now a huge force of loyalists jump jetting into the middle of Wakonda's base. They're going to harden armor and shoot at the commander, trying to break through these factory shields. An enormous UEF raiding party into the north side. No reinforcements to the middle here means that they are not going to get hardly any damage done against this commander here. Going to kill some factories. Cyber and artillery still wearing out the base, though. We've lost a second factory. More damage coming out to some of these buildings here, slowly but surely. Meanwhile, what is Protostar going to do about this? This is a nasty, nasty problem to have, because while he's dealing with this, he's going to devote all of his forces to deal with this. These P-shields, these demolishers, the unit movement upgrade, the speed upgrade, means that unless he diverts everything, this small little land force is going to be incredibly hard. Small by comparison, mind you. It's still pretty a good-sized UAF land blob. Going to be very hard to deal with. He can sit here underneath his own shielding and just mobile missile launch the base to pieces here. I think the play is that he's going to have to bring his commander all the way back over there and deal with this. But he can't do that because we got another raid coming in from the other side now. Most of his land forces have been devoted to the middle to wear this out. More engagements happening all across this map now. Airplay has been abandoned completely by both players, both recognizing that air is not going to get hardly anything done at this stage of the game. Cyber and artillery being diverted now to fire at these land forces in an attempt to get something done. Commander is going to shoo away this eastern raid, but notice that it is not the Cybran doing the raiding anymore. He's having to play defensively, and that's not what you want versus the blob of UEF like this. Not what you want at all. Once again, I have to question whether or not the megaliths might not have been better than this Cyber and artillery play. No structure detonate coming out on any of these, by the way. Look at how close they are to these buildings. The structure detonate could be huge here if he has it. If he gets it. Oh, man, there it goes. Structure detonate on the artillery. Gonna kill more than half of this force now. Hardly any of it's left, but he's still got more than a couple running around. This is enough to kill some of these factories, these mass extractors, these artillery emplacements if he doesn't do something about it. Sacrifice one of these other factories. Take care of this nice and quick. Cybran Guncom now moved into the middle engagement for going this flank now. He's got UEF units all over the back of his base. This is an absolutely insane holdout of Protostar here. I don't know if he can manage it, though. The structure detonate. There we go. Gonna get a structure detonate again. Kill another big group of these units. Another raiding party here. Unit detonate. Wakonda not able to pay attention in so many places at once with this fight happening on his doorstep. Gonna get power detonated here for sure. Yep, there they go. Gonna clean that flank up. Still have units in the back of the base for Protostar. An enormous UEF force pushing right up the center, but we've got a Cybran Guncom ready and waiting for them. While a raiding force tries once more to clean up this expansion from Wakonda, trying his absolute hardest to slow Wakonda down now. Protostar now with less than half of Wakonda's economy. Wakonda has caught up immensely. Protostar was ahead all game, but not by double. Wakonda now with double the mass income, more than double, 2.5 times even. 20 mass income per second for Protostar, and a whopping 50 for Wakonda. Cybran Guncom in some trouble. Lots of P-shields here, gonna block these hits. We do have the gauze cannons out now. These demolisher rounds are now twice as effective. Going to be doing enormous damage every time they impact anything. These units taking an enormous amount, a dumb amount of AoE damage. Jump Jet is going to make it in, though. Going to kill a bunch of this. Yep, there we go. Jump Jet power detonate doing some work. But look at the devastation in Protostar's base here. He's missing more than half of his base. His factories are gone. His artillery is gone. The mass extractors are gone. What does Protostar have left to keep him in this game? I'm really not sure. Can he even recover from this? He's going to try. He's building these mass extractors back up. He needs some engineers to get up and help him with this. He's got 500 mass in the bank. Wakonda now floating 3,000 mass and not spending it. Why, you ask? Well, like I may have suspected a little while ago, we have experimentals coming up. Fat boys are going to get up and running here. Protostar did not go for those megaliths, and I really, really, really think that might have been the play here, but he wanted to do something funny that he probably doesn't get to do very often, and that's build that good old Cybran artillery span, baby. I can't say I blame the man, but it'll be curious now to see if he can pull this back. I'm not really seeing a way that he can. There's just too many forces out now. Protostar, though, is going to jump jet all the way across this gap, and as a result is going to directly scout this lane gantry coming up. He knows now what is coming and how quickly it is happening. Does he see it? He must. He does. He does see it. Alright. He's now aware of what is happening. I don't see any structures being queued up here. He's just holding his ground while this raiding party tries to get a little tiny bit of work done. He's got one single artillery battery left, but we've got proper base shields now up now. Now up now. Wow, I'm speaking too fast, can you tell? Aegis shields up and running, going to block a lot of this Cybran artillery quite effectively. He no longer has the numbers to deal with this. There's just too many UEF units out, I think. I don't know that Protostar can recover at this point in time. He has lost some mass extractors down to 37 mass, but still rocking a pretty solid 1.5 times lead in mass per second over Protostar. Protostar doing his level best to slow him down, though. Killing as many of these mass extractors as he can possibly manage. He's killing 1, 2. He killed a bunch back here. He killed this one up here. Wakonda is recovering, though. He's building land factories in this expansion back here to attempt to help hold it off. Re-expansion now happening for Protostar. Excuse me, I haven't cast in a minute. I'm a little bit tired. A 35-minute 1v1 replay here on Venus Forge. I love this kind of game. I have to say, I'm kind of rooting for Protostar to make a comeback here, just because it would be absolutely incredible to see him pull that off somehow, but I'm really struggling to see what his options forward in this game are. That being said, he's being as annoying as possible. Cybran Guncom gonna clean up this entire attack over here. Fantastic news for Protostar. Gonna mean that he can at least continue to try expanding back out for that western expansion for him. He's got a group of loyalists here continuing to harass down these mass extractors. If there is a path forward for Protostar, this surely must be it. Slowly wearing out the economy, slowing down Wakonda as much as possible, being annoying. We are going to see the fat boy rolling out of this factory in another minute or two. He's going to engage the power armor. Cybran artillery helping finish it off. That's a jackhammer! That's a jackhammer! That is not a fat boy! That's a jackhammer! Oh no! Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. That is one way for sure to handle a Cybran Guncom. And definitely a way to handle all these Cybran units, because if they don't jump jet in on top of that jackhammer, it will unpack and kill all of them. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. This whole group's about to evaporate. Boom! There goes half of them. Power armor's up. It doesn't matter. Boom! There goes the rest. One guy left. His body's gonna die to the rockheads, and then his corpse is gonna catch a jackhammer round to the teeth directly after that. What a way to go. More factories coming out now. Protostar surely must be panicking at this point. Jackhammers are his worst nightmare in this situation. Cybran Guncom is not going to be enough. 2 jackhammers unpacking the back line while his UEF units push forward. Cybran Guncom can't do anything. He will eat 6 jackhammer rounds and a bunch of demolisher hits and die. And that will be the end of that story. No questions asked. He has got to figure out something, and he's got to figure it out right now. So, man, what can he do? Honestly, at this point, Wakonda is pretty beaten up himself. They're back to being nearly even on eco, thanks to Protostar being able to re-expand here. That being said, we've got another UEF death ball just right into Protostar's face. He is slowly rebuilding. He's building air factories? Why? Gunships, maybe. Or enough bombers to one past the jackhammer, but that would be a lot of bombers to do that. Gunships could be the play here. 30 gunships. There's not enough anti-air to kill that if he just finds the commander and dives them with 30 renegades. That means Protostar is once again, just like earlier on in this game, playing for a delaying action. He's not going to win on the ground. He's not going to win on the air. He's going for the cheesy, sneaky, quick kill on Wakonda's commander here, but I don't think he's going to live long enough to get it up and running. That's a big ask. Look at all these air factories here. Surely fighter bombers are not the play here. He must be thinking gunships. He must be. I'll be very surprised if we see fighters roll out of these air factories. Huge UEF waves approaching both sides now. Protostar in a huge amount of trouble. And sure enough, I was right. There we go. We've got Renegade gunships, presumably fully upgraded. No shields on them yet. 1,800 health, though. I think that's some unit veterancy at the very least. But man, what does he do about this? He does not have enough gunships to kill this. He doesn't have enough units to kill this. His commander is out of position. Gonna have to hope Wakonda gets messy. Walks into a structured detonate. That's your only choice here at this point in time. Protostar determined not to throw in the towel on this game, though. He's going to fight to the very last man, and I respect it. Look at this. Look at the amount of UEF units rocking up to this base, though. Jesus Christ. What a wild back and forth match this has been start to finish, but I think Wakonda's looking to close it out now. He got out 3 whole gunships. Oh, trying it. He's trying the unit detonate. He's trying real hard to shut down at least one of these flanks. Oh man, but look at how much is here. This has got to be 100 or more units. Honestly, I think more. I can't be bothered to just sit here and try to count. But I would say approaching, God, maybe 120 units or so. Maybe even more. Come and count them in the comments. Pause the video now and tell me how close I was. If at all. Maybe. Yeah, about 120 is what I would guess. Maybe a little bit more. 120 give or take. Plus this whole side flank that's happening over here. Protostar fighting to the last man over here. Where's his commander? His commander's retreated to this expansion. We've got an air blob up here forming slowly. A small one, mind you, but an air blob nonetheless. He was hoping to hide this play from Wakonda until he got enough gunships up to dive the commander. He's going to use the fighters to scout it and then just go straight in. That's very unfortunate. The Cybern Guncom, though, going to go down an absolute hero for sure if he dies at this point. AoE damage and overcharge going to make short work of these units, P-shield and all. Down to half health, though. Surely must be max vet, though. Look at that, 75,000 health. His half health commander is still at 30,000 HP available here to play with. The best part is that Wakonda hasn't even actually had to produce any more jackhammers here. The sight of the one jackhammer was enough to make Protostar pivot into an air play. I'm not sure it would have mattered either way, but he forced that response out of him, which is even less masked going into the defense against these land units. And I think this is for sure the end of the story here for our good friend Protostar. This is unfortunate. But what a 1v1. I was not expecting a 45-minute match when I loaded into this replay. This is excellent. He's gonna jump jet. Protostar running for his life. Understandably so. Haha, I'm on this platform. Your units can't reach me over here. No UEF jump jets. You know what can reach him, though? One jackhammer. Oh my god. What happened to the commander? Why is he in the escape pod? What? He must have been off doing something. How on earth I think that's the commander right there. But he's right in the... Is it? No. No, those are bombers. Those are crashed fighter bombers. Oh boy. I believe we are seeing the resignation coming out of Protostar here. I think these guys are messing around now. I think that's what we're seeing, is these guys messing around. Oh no. Oh, oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 800, 500. Boom! Not enough damage on the commander nuke there to kill the escape pod for Wakonda. I have no idea why he was in the escape pod. I think he was messing with he's messing around and having fun. But that's going to do it for this replay. What a fantastic matchup between these two players. Protostar fought until the bitter end. Excellent hold. I really think if he had just gone the classic Megalith, he probably would have done pretty well because he was ahead for a lot of that game. But I really respect the attempt at the Cybern already spam because you so rarely get to see it used in a 1v1 like this. Oftentimes units are just better by the time you get to the point of being able to produce enough artillery to matter. You've put so much mass into it that the enemy army is, well, like this. So, on that note, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any awesome replays you want me to cast of Beyond All Reason, Supcom, Executive Assault, or anything like that, send them down to me either in my Discord. If it's in Supcom, you can put them in the Supreme Commander Replays channel. But one way or the other, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.